Welcome back. I'm Ronnie, and this is Decoding in Progress. Let's begin. The first exercise is sound identification. This section provides opportunities for phoneme or sound discrimination. Eyes can be closed. As each word is pronounced, can you hear the target sound? Alright, so remember this is show or episode number 3 of short A, ah. Alright, here we go. Pit. Pit. Did you hear ah? Sub. Sub. Did you hear ah? Lag. Lag. Did you hear ah? Ram. Ram. Path. Path. At. At. Jib. Jib. Good. The second exercise is rhyming. This section also provides opportunities for phoneme discrimination. Eyes can be closed. As each pair of words is read, do they rhyme? For this exercise, hand gestures are important. My thumb will be the onset of a word, and my fingers will be the rhyme. We are looking for words that have the same rhyme. Alright, let's get started. Fiv, gum. Fiv, gum. Iv, g, Did they rhyme? Wet, vet. Et, v, et. Pot, rub. Ot, ub. Did they rhyme? Gas, yet. Ass, et. Lag, sag. Ag, ag. Did they rhyme? Did, fid. Id, id. Did they rhyme? Ram, det. Am, et. Good. The third exercise is tokens. This section provides opportunities for sound discrimination, but also encourages thinking of letters as consonants and vowels. Here, words are spelled using tokens, one for each sound, white for consonants and green for vowels. Alright, let me just put the words up here. For this program, for this one little thing, I can't see the words, so I have to put them on my screen. Okay, so the first word is sab. Sab. What's the first sound you hear in sab? S. What's the second sound you hear in sab? Ah. What's the last sound you hear in sab? B. Sab. The word is bin. Bin. What's the first sound you hear in bin? B. What's the second sound you hear in bin? I. What's the third and last sound you hear in bin? N. Bin. The word is fup. Fup. What's the first sound you hear in fup? F. What's the second sound you hear in fup? What's the last sound you hear in fup? P. Fup. The word is yig. Yig. What's the first sound you hear in yig? Well, that was it. It was ya. I was a little ahead of myself. I gotta get used to this. Alright. What's the second sound you hear in yig? I. And what's the last sound you hear in yig? G. Yig. The word is apt. Apt. What's the first sound you hear in apt? Ah. What's the second sound you hear in apt? What's the last sound you hear in apt? T. Apt. The word is besk. Besk. What's the first sound you hear in besk? B. What's the second sound you hear in besk? What's the third sound you hear in besk? S. And what's the last sound you hear in besk? K. Besk. And the last word? Masp. Masp. What's the first sound you hear in masp? What's the second sound you hear in masp? Ah. What's the third sound you hear in masp? Masp. S. And what's the last sound you hear in masp? P. Masp. Good. The fourth exercise is substitution. This section provides opportunities for phoneme manipulation. Eyes can be closed. After a word is pronounced, listen carefully for the sounds to be exchanged. Alright, here we go. Say pan. Pan. Say pan again, but instead of saying n, say t. Pat. Say kit. Say kit again, but instead of saying t, say s. Kiss. Say sub. Say sub again, but instead of saying s, say t. Tub. Say leg. Say leg again, but instead of saying ul, say meg. Say sug. Say sug again, but instead of saying s, say ul. Lug. Say lit. Say lit again, but instead of saying I, say a. Lat. Say spid. Say spid again, but instead of saying p, say t. Stid. Good. The fifth exercise is addition, deletion. This section also provides opportunities for phoneme manipulation. Eyes can be closed. Similar to substitution, listen carefully for specific sounds to be added or deleted. Alright, let's begin. Say dill. Say dill again, but don't say d. Ill. Say dis. Say dis again, but add a k at the end. Disc. Say pin. Say pin again, but don't say p. In. Say let. Say let again, but add a b at the beginning. Blet. Say jogger. Say jogger again, but don't say gur. Jog. Say hen. Say hen again, but add a t at the end. Hent. Say Dan. Say Dan again, but add a d at the end. Danned. Good. The sixth exercise is word families. This section provides opportunities to practice decoding, but using simple and reliable spelling patterns. Decode each word as it is highlighted. Nonsense words will be in the color beige. Alright, today's word family is am. Now remember, as we read the words, instead of sounding out each word individually, let's go ahead and stretch out the word sounds a little bit. The sounds. Alright, here we go. Remember, the sound is am. Am. So that's bam. Bam. Dam, dam. Fam, fam. Gam, ham. Jam, cam. Lamb, ma'am, nam, pam, quam, and that can be quam. Ram, Sam, Tam, Vam, Wham, Sam, Yam, Zam. Good. The seventh exercise is syllabification. This section provides opportunities for pattern recognition in words which, in turn, helps with spelling and fluency. Right? Let's continue. We are still working with one-syllable words, or words that are one syllable, that can be a syllable as well. But first, let's cover the vocabulary. Always. Alright, the first important idea is that every syllable has one sound. The second important idea is the amount of vowels equals the amount of syllables in a word, mostly. And what we're talking about right now is all one-syllable words are syllables. We've got the long vowel symbol. We've got the short vowel symbol. Those are for pronunciation. Syllabification means the separating and the sorting into categories of word parts. Consonant and vowel refer to the alphabet, the two different kinds of letters. Phoneme is a fancy word for sound. A syllable is simply a word part. And anything in between those slashes, like you see here with this right here, the short A, all of what's inside of the slashes is purely the sound. So, ah. Alright. So let's continue. We have 8 simple words that are one-syllable words, and that's it. The first one is gab. One syllable, gab. I won't clap for the rest. Ford. Moon. Teak. Silk. Wood. Mask. And lastly, how would you pronounce that? Fluv. Alright, to recap, we're continuing covering words that have one syllable. One-syllable words are syllables. Alright, good. The ninth exercise is affixes. This section provides opportunities to see words in parts. Listen as 3 words containing a particular affix are defined and used in a sentence. Then answer the question that follows. Alright, as we usually begin, let's go ahead and cover the vocabulary for affixes. Alright. The first one is syllable. Well, that's a word part. Affix. Okay, that's a word part as well, but it's a different word part that follows different rules, and that's what we're learning here. Well, what do you attach those affixes to? A root word. So a prefix is an affix that you attach to the beginning of a root word. And a suffix is an affix that you attach to the end of a root word. And the prefix we're talking about, that we're continuing with, is un. Here we go. Un equals not. Fair. Unfair. The team quit because they felt the rule was unfair. Unfair. Pack. Unpack. Time to unpack the luggage. Unpack. Certain or certain. Uncertain. Sharon was uncertain they would be able to attend. Uncertain. Question. Which word means not sure? Unfair, unpack, or uncertain? Do you know? Uncertain. Alright, good. So to recap, we continue to learn and get more words with the prefix un. Good. The 10th exercise is sight words. This section provides opportunities to practice decoding as it appears in print. Words in blue are sight words. These will be read slightly faster. Words in black are for decoding. These will be read slightly slower and stretched out. During the reading process, commentary will be added. This isn't for humor necessarily. It is specifically to demonstrate some of the inner conversation we have in our heads when we read. Alright, let's begin. First, we'll read the words in blue, the sight words, or sometimes they're called high-frequency words. Read them with me if you can. The, of, and, a, to, in, is, you, that, it, yes, no, not. Alright. Alright, it's taking a little while. So, I told you I'm not a writer, and this sounds like the last story, which sounded like the first story. Alright, again, I'm not a writer, but the story is intact. It has all of the opportunities you need for practice, and that's what's important. Here we go. Dan is a bat. Dan is a bat. Alright, a little unusual for a bat's name, but I guess it'll work. Bats hang. Bats hang. Alright, now that word hang, you don't want to say hang. And the other thing is that N is slightly different than a regular N. So I'll cover it later, but just know that. So the word is hang. Bats hang. Alright, yeah, they do. Alright. Bats gab. Bats gab. Okay, if that's what all that's all about, okay, yeah. Dan hangs and Dan gabs. So it's just repeating. We put it all together in a sentence. Dan hangs and Dan gabs. Alright, we can go on. Dan is a... Now this word, the last two, well, nice. Trust me on that. Nice. What is he, a nice what? Bat. Dan is a nice bat. Alright. It'd be worse if he were not a good bat. Alright. Question. Alright. Which sentence is true? Which sentence is true? Number 1. Dan is a bat? Okay, that's true, right? And 2, Dan is a tab? Oh, tab is bat backwards. I was trying to be funny. See, that's where it doesn't work. Alright, which one of those is true? Dan is a bat. Alright. Well, good for Dan. Hopefully nobody bothers him. Bats are good. We need bats. Alright. Well, there you go. You finished. Alright. Tune in next time when we're going to do another video of Short A. Video number 4.